Okay, so hello everyone. This video is going to be on a programming video, and I'm gonna do some sort of programming. So let's go exactly what I'm gonna program. Today I'm gonna make an file indexer. So the input is like I'm gonna give this file indexer a directory, and what I'm gonna get that the file indexer basically index all the files inside that directory. That means all the files inside that directory and also inside the subdirectory. So if you know the locate command of Linux, so this is a very simple concept. So they use something called update db and stuff like that. So we are gonna mimic it, and it will be a multi-threaded thing, because multi-threaded can be important, because if you see this file indexer thing, that it is like a producer consumer pattern. So we are gonna do that. Okay, so let's start. If you know me, I use this project create script all the time to create any project, to initialization of the project. So I want to create a Gradle project. Okay, Gradle, because of I want automation, I want build automation. Okay, so the project name would be indexer, the main class would be indexer. Okay, so we have this indexer. Okay, so we have this indexer ready, and let's try. Let's open Vim. Actually I use NeoVim. This is NeoVim. Okay, and this is a Natalie build of NeoVim. One mode of this this project is to show my workflow, that how I create projects and things in NeoVim, and this is one of where I am gonna use Java. Okay, so let's start doing it. I have indexer.java. So like the project create scripts basically just provides me all these things. Okay, so let's talk about the files, that what files it would have. So we know that there is gonna three okay, so there are gonna three things. The first one is the indexer class, that's the main class. Okay, it will be like the top level thing, and the second one is gonna be like a crawler, and what I call it, okay, a crawler, and something called file index or something like that. Okay, so what crawlers don't do is like it would go through each and every file. Okay, so it would go through each and every file, and what our basically file indexer is gonna do, that crawler is would provide those files to file indexer, and file indexer would just index it. And what I mean by indexing is writing those file paths in a separate file. Okay, that's it. So if we see the crawler work, it's a very IO intensive work. Okay, why it is IO intensive? Because we have to hit hard disk all the time to get the list of all the files. So it's like IO bounded, and our writing to a file all the time, because we are going to get a lot of file, it is a CPU bounded thing. So if we can see the clear separation, that's why I have two different class for it. And because we have something very clear CPU bounded, so this can be multi-threaded. Okay, so we can use all the processors I have. So let's see how many processors I have. If I go to htop, okay, I have like 4 processors, so I can just utilize that. Okay, so that's why it is. Okay, so this is what my plan is. So let's get started. Okay, so I have indexer.java. One thing I want is what I call it is like crawler.java. Okay, so this is the another one. Okay, and then okay, so let's start with crawler.java. Okay, so crawler.java. Okay, let me turn on the screen keys now. Fine. So we have crawler.java here, and what we are gonna do is let's start with the simple class. Okay. Oh, what just happened? Just don't know what just happened. Okay, see. Okay, come on. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Okay, let me write it. Okay, so I'm not getting why my snippets are not working. Let's start by ourselves. Okay, public class crawler. Okay, it was a COC bug. Of course it was COC bug. Okay, now in crawler what we want to have, so the first thing is the root file system that we want to traverse. So that means I want a file. Okay, I want a file, so let's say I name it root. Okay, the second one is I just don't know. Okay, this is the first one. Maybe we only need it, or maybe we will check it out. Okay, so the second one is we want a constructor, and why not if we can just do it private and final, because why not? If we can do something final, it's like good, it's the best practice we can do. Okay, now I want public constructor, so crawler. Okay, and file root. Okay, oh my god, what's going on? Yeah, so this dot root is equal to root. Okay, so we have the file ready. Now because we have the file ready, what we want to have, we want to just crawl through the file. Okay, so if we just get it that the crawler should run on a different thread. Okay, it's like a producer consumer pattern. So crawler is a producer and all those file indexers would be like consumers. Okay, so crawler would produce the files that we want to index out. Okay, so of course crawler is gonna thread, and if we want to have a thread and you know Java, then of course you know that we want a runnable here. Okay, so we want a runnable here, and I get a runnable. Let's just fix the action. Okay, so we want this thing called this to do thing, and we would just auto generate it. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to crawl the root. That's it, this is what we want. And there is one more thing I think I want in here, that is like a blocking queue. Why I need a blocking queue? Because queue is like a to-do list type of thing, like you have to do this first in first out pattern and stuff like that. And crawler would fill the to-do list, and file indexer would actually retrieve the items from to-do list. And if any item is not there, because the crawler is IO intensive, IO bonded, not CPU bonded, so because IO operations are slow, so if it is not there, then it's responsibility of our file indexer is to just block the operation. Okay, just wait for it. Okay, so that's why we want a blocking queue. So let's just have it, and of course we are not gonna change the blocking queue thing, like the reference to blocking queue throughout the implementation. So I'm just doing it final as well, and let's just import it. I think so. Okay, so we just imported the blocking queue, and because we have to initialize it. Okay, so I would just initialize it, and this dot queue is equal to queue. Okay, so I just initialized it, and now it should work. What's the problem? Okay, it's a raw type. Yes, we have to put the file. We have to actually put the file. Okay, so that's why it's a raw type. Okay, so now we have the blocking queue. It would be shared between all the file indexers, because there are gonna be multiple instances of the file indexer and this crawler. Okay, if we would provide multiple root file system, yeah, means root directories, then we can have the multiple instances of crawler too, but I just don't want it. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, now let's go in here. So I have this crawl function, and let's just write the crawl function, and of course it should be like private. Okay, private crawl, no, private void crawl file root, and yeah, now it is. Oh, why it's root? It should be like any file. Okay, like root was there was nothing nothing wrong in root. I was just like the name, I just find it like generic. File is generic name. Okay, fine. So let's go in there and let's do something. Okay, fine. So if this file is a directory, okay, so if file dot is a directory, then we have to do something else. We have to do something. Okay, so let's say I'm not including any symbolic links and stuff like that, just for simplicity purpose. Okay, so let's say it's a regular file, then what should we do? Okay, so if it's a regular file, then we should just index it. Okay, so indexing for crawler just means to fill up that to-do list I was talking about. That means q dot add and yeah, file. This is what we have to do it in here. Okay, now if it is a directory, then we have to again crawl through it. Okay, we have to again crawl through each and every files inside it or subdirectories inside it. Okay, so we need a array file that I called files. Okay, is equal to file dot list files. Okay, and it just list all the files inside it. That's it. Okay, fine. So we got the files in here. Fine, we are getting each and everything that we want to have, and let's now try it. Okay, what we want to do, crawl. Okay, for file f in files, just crawl each and every file. Oh, sorry, f. You know what the f? Okay, fine. So we want to do this. So that's it. Okay, I think so. It's like a DFS along in here. Okay, in a tree. Okay, it's very DFS kind of thing. So if it's a root, if it's a leaf, then just add that file, okay, to the queue. And if it's not a leaf, then just recrawl it. And like that. And maybe we can add some condition like q dot contains and stuff like that. I just don't feel that it is important. Okay, because like I told that I'm gonna assume we don't have any symbolic links and stuff like that. So tree is like unidirectional, so we are not gonna like loop and loop around. This is not a graph, so this is what I'm assuming it. So I think this crawler is ready. This is what the crawler looks like, I think so. Let's go and check our file indexer. Okay, so I want a file indexer.java. Okay, now what file indexer looks like is oh, it's not working. Why this snippet is not working, I just don't know. Okay, so cl at least. Okay, fine. These snippets are not working. This is like a problem COC. Okay, so public class file indexer. Oh, come on. Yes. So we have the file indexer class, and there is a programming mistake that I have done. We should not never do it. That I have not put all these files in a package. So that's why there is no package like of thing in here, and like you know, package gives a good isolation, but because this is a very small project, so like very small, I just don't call it project. It's just like a practice kind of thing. So that's why I have just I just do not take care of it. Okay, so fine. One thing we want is our blocking queue one more time. Why not? So we have the blocking queue. This queue I was talking about, this reference will be shared between the crawler and the file indexers. Okay, and another thing is I feel we want is a file where we have to index all the things. This is like, or maybe I just don't know. What we can do is we can have an array list of strings, because we have there are gonna multiple instances of this final. Okay, there are gonna multiple instances of this final. So if we are writing to a file, then it is again IO bounded, and if we have just array list and we are just filling the array list, and after that the main thread would write to a file, it would like simple writing to a file. That's it, nothing else we have to do. So I think filling an array list would be a fast enough thing. So okay, I would just have a list. Okay, so list of string maybe. Okay, so list of string, fine, I just call it list, and okay, so we have this thing ready. Now what we want to have is a constructor, okay, file indexer, and oh, again I just forgot that blocking queue is a raw type, and it should not be a raw type. Okay, it should be like of the file. Okay, so it's generic type, and want to fix it. Okay, I just import the files. Okay, so blocking queue of file queue, that's it. That's I think what we want to have only in here, and this dot queue is equal to queue. Okay, and list is equal to new array list. Okay, so yeah, I hope our file indexer is ready. And as I talked about, there are going to multiple instances of file indexer because it's a CPU bonded thing. So I want to utilize all my processors, so surely it's gonna be a thread, and that's why again we know that we have to implement the runnable. Okay, so let's just fix it. I just add the abstract class of this runnable thing. Okay, now what I want to have, okay, I want q dot take. Okay, q dot take. Okay, q dot take is like just get the file out there. Okay, so get the file from the tree. Let's just read about q.take, what it does. Okay, retrieves and removes the head of this queue. That is what we want to have, like retrieves and remove the head of this queue. And actually blocking queue is thread safe. Okay, so accessing it by multiple threads, it's like thread safe. Okay, so there is no problem in there. Okay, that's why I am not using the synchronized keyword all the time. Okay, our data structure, when we are doing some multi-threading programming and stuff like that, we should always take care of our data structure, and we should always take care that it's thread safe or not. This is very important. Okay, so now q.take and string, file is equal to q.take. Okay, so that's it. And we have to surround it with a try catch. Why we have to surround it with a try catch? Because this take function is gonna block. Okay, this take function is gonna block if there are no elements in queue, and that is surely possible. Why it's possible? Because when our crawler is IO bounded and IO operation is slow, we are gonna have multiple instances of this file indexer, and that's why this situation can arise, and we have to be able to delete. So it's gonna block, and if some other thread just interrupts it, we'll get an interrupt and exception. This is the rule of multi-threaded programming in Java. Okay, so that's where we have to handle it. And if we have to handle it, the best way I think so handle it is like thread dot current thread dot interrupt. Okay, so it would just raise the interrupted flag. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, so that means the calling thread would get to know that okay, this thread has actually accepted the interruption. Okay, so they can behave with it. Okay, so we should never leave like interrupt, like if we get an interrupted exception, so we should always do some effective thing so that our caller thread that raised the interrupted exception would get to know about it, that this thread has accepted the interrupt or not. Okay, fine. So we have got a file. Okay, we have got a file in here, and now what we are gonna do, we are just gonna add list dot add file dot get path. That's it. That's it. Okay, that is what it has to do all the time, and this thread is gonna run while true. Of course, always it is gonna run always. I just don't know. Okay, so it is gonna run always, or maybe we can just maintain a variable. Okay, we can just maintain a variable private boolean running. Okay, so we can just maintain a variable running. Okay, that is initially false. Okay, and when someone calls the thread dot start, so our run function is called, so we just did running is equal to true. Okay, and while we are running, okay, so while we are running, we have to do all these things. Okay, fine. So this is what we have to do. And now if we get the interrupted exception, if someone interrupts me, okay, so what I am considering, the where I can get the interrupt from is like when the crawler thread completes. That means it has crawled through each and every file system, and then main thread gets to know about it. Okay, that the crawler thread is complete now. Okay, so if we get to know, our file indexer would be waiting all the time. Okay, if this queue is null, empty, if the queue is empty, our crawler thread, our file indexer thread would be waiting, would be blocked. Okay, so in there, our main thread should interrupt the file indexer thread, and it should exit. Okay, so if we get an interrupt, then we are getting a signal that now you are done, your job is done. Okay, you should get out of here, and that's why what we should do is to set the running equal to false, like we are done. So now when we will get to the next, okay, we'll get to the next loop. Okay, we are gonna have get out of the loop. Okay, running equal to false, because it's like while running. So that's it. I think this is the file indexer we want to have. Okay, so this is what it is. Now let's go, let's go to the indexer.java. Okay, so we have public class indexer. Okay, and I want a main method, and yes, this time it's the best work. Okay, COC is not that much bad, and if you are having that much problem, you can try YCM and things. I think COC provides the best feature I have ever seen, but of course I was doing with YCM and I was not getting much problems. Okay, and in fact in 0.5 version of NeoVim we are gonna get inbuilt language server protocol thing, so of course it will be more and more minimal. Okay, so this is the main thread. What we want to have now, we want to have a blocking queue. Of course we want to have a blocking queue that I call the queue is equal to new blocking queue. Hold a second, I just forget it all the time that the blocking queue is of type file. Okay, so I just want it, okay, that I call queue, that I would just like new blocking queue, and what is this? Okay, d%. Okay, so we are gonna get a new blocking queue. Okay, and oh, what, we cannot initialize it like this, I think so. New array blocking queue. Okay, so we are gonna have a new array blocking queue or a new linked list blocking queue, and I just don't want the capacity of, or the maximum thing of the blocking queue, that this much maximum only you can get through. So I would just use linked blocking queue. Okay, and again we should not forget this thing, our what we say generic thing in Java. Okay, of course they provide type safety. So let's just oh, why I'm doing it, okay, I would just import it out. Okay, we have the queue that we would share. Okay, fine, this is the first thing we want to do. What is the second thing we want to do? Actually what we want to have is how many processors we have, because like here if I just get in there, I have 4 processors. Okay, I have 4 processors and 4 instances of this file indexer is like optimal choice for me. But if I write like for only 4 processors, so it's not a generic program, so it should be generic. And if you ever wonder how you will get the processor in Java, so it's not a big deal. I think we all know runtime dot get runtime dot get available processors. Okay, so it will this function will get you the number of processors you want to have. Okay, so this is it. We have the number of processors, and what else we want to have? What else we want to have is okay, so we want one more thing. I think I just forgot it. What is this? File indexer.java. Yeah, so one more thing I just thought I forgot it is okay, yeah. So one thing I just think I forgot it is public. I should get this list. Okay, I should get this list, because this is where I have saved all my things. So I should have all this list where I can get these list. Okay, this is very important. I just add those files, and after that that list should be there. Okay, how, in which direction it is going on? Okay, it is going on like I want a future. Okay, I want 4 futures. Okay, and when they are completed and stuff like that, we can cancel the future. So this is going on in this direction, I think so. I hope it's going on in this direction. Maybe let's try just changing runnable into the future of I think list of string. So yes, oh, why we want to import future java dot this, and now add unimplemented method. Okay, so we want to do the cancel thing and all those things. Okay, so yes, now we want the cancellation is cancelled, is done, fine, all those things we want to fill up. Okay, so our indexer method looks like this now. Sorry, file indexer looks like this. Okay, so get function. Okay, so like this is what we can do. This is what we can do. But let's say we want to make it simple. Let's say we want future for our version 2. Okay, let's say we want future for our version 2. Let's try with runnable thing. Okay, so how can we do it? Okay, public boolean is running. Okay, public boolean is running, and it is just return running. Okay, so I am just using the low level API of what Java provides us. In the next video I think I will use this future, of course. Okay, so yes, it is what it is. Okay, yeah, or maybe we can go through future. Okay, I would just see and then public list of string get if running, then of course we are going to block it. We are going to block the thread, and else return list. That's it what we want. Unhandled exception, of course I want to handle it. Add throw clause, because like this one, why I have just thrown the what's the problem there. This method must return a list type. Okay, if running we have to wait. Okay, and yeah, that's it, return list. Fine. So why I have thrown this exception is because I can say when this function is acting like a library function for me. Okay, so get function will block for main thread, and if let's say the thread that would call it, and if that thread is interrupted, okay, so what it should do and stuff like that. Okay, so this is like a library function, so that's why I have just thrown it. There are two options we should always use. If you are making a library, so it's like throw it outside, okay, interrupted exception, or make the like you know, this interrupt state like your current thread interrupt 1. Okay, so this is what we should always do. Okay, so now let's get back. Oh, not in here. We should get back where we should get back to indexer.java. Okay, so we are here in the num processors. Okay, and now what we are gonna have is like okay, so we are gonna have I think okay, the first thing I want is a crawler. Okay, so crawler, and how we are gonna have the entry. Okay, for the entry, what I'm thinking is just take the entry from std in. So I think that would be fine for the time being. Okay, s out, and let's say enter the root. Okay, okay, so s out, enter the root, and then I want to read. Okay, so how we read it? Scanner, I think so. Scanner, okay, is equal to new scanner system.in from std in. I want to read out. Okay, so yeah, scanner, and then I want to get the string from scanner. Okay, so string root is equal to scanner dot get scanner dot next. Okay, next. Okay, scanner dot next. Okay, so we got the root in here, and then of course scanner dot close. Fine. So yeah, this is done. What should we do next? We have our entry. Okay, now the first thing we want to have is crawler is equal to new crawler. We want root. Okay, so new file root, and then the next thing we want is to pass the queue. Okay, so yeah, we got crawler. What's the problem? Change the type to crawler. Change to crawler. CRAWLER. I just don't know. What's this? Let's just see. Crawler.java. Yeah, this is the crawler in here. So crawler enables runnable, and it just takes a file. That's fine. It just takes a blocking queue. That's fine. Okay, and in here we are providing it a file crawler. I just don't know what's the problem. Crawler, okay, crawler, fine, yeah, is equal to new crawler. We want root, that is like new file root, and then the next thing is like q. I think so. This was, oh yeah, the problem is gone. I just don't know what is the problem. Okay, so we have the crawler, and what's the next thing we want to have after the crawler? We want a thread that's like crawler thread is equal to new thread that just takes a runnable, that is like our crawler is runnable, and crawler thread dot start it, because you know it should be fast. Okay, now our crawler is running. Okay, our crawler is running. Now we want all our file indexers, so let's get our file indexers. Okay, and one thing we want for our file indexer is like I can say what I can say, yeah, one thing is missing in our file indexer, that we have to actually write up to a specific file. Okay, that specific file is missing, so we have to take the entry. Okay, we have to take the entry, so let's just take it, let's just copy it, why not, because okay, so ci this where to index, and yes, scanner, of course, yeah, so where to index scanner dot string index is equal to scanner dot next. Okay, so we got where to index it. Okay, so index path is here. Okay, now let's just have our crawler threads, sorry, file indexer threads. Okay, so there are two arrays I always want to have. The first array is like the array of runnable. Okay, sorry, the array of what we said file indexer. Okay, I want the array of file indexer, so indexers. Okay, and yeah, new file indexer of course num processors. Okay, and then the second thing we want to have is indexer threads. Okay, so I want to have the indexer threads also, because we have to start each and every indexer thread, or maybe I just don't know, I would just say it. Okay, and this is like thread, and yeah, thread. Now for the classic for loop, num processors I plus. Okay, so this is a classic for loop, and now what I do is indexers I is equal to new file indexer, and we just provided the blocking queue. Okay, we just provided a blocking queue. Okay, so this is it. One more thing we can do. Okay, we can just get rid of those get functions. How can we get rid of those get functions? Very easy. Okay, very easy to get rid of those get function. I just got the idea. Okay, sorry, file indexer.java. Okay, and this is how that the main thread knows that yes, I would use those list after each and every thread is stopped. Okay, so they would just use it only after that. So what would happen if we just get it from the main thread itself? Okay, so this would be like the best we can have. Okay, so what we can do is equal to this dot list is equal to new list. Okay, so this is what we can do. and now we just don't need that array list, so that's gone. And let's get back. Okay, so yes, what we can have is like list of string. Okay, list of string, and we can just say lists. Okay, and that's like new array list, and that's like num processors. Okay, so yes, I just import it all. Okay, so what's the problem? Back incorrect number of arguments cannot be parameterized. Of course, what's the problem? Yeah, okay, new, okay, ct this new list of this. Okay, now it's fine, I think so. It's fine. Incorrect number of arguments. What is going on? What's going on? I just forgot it. New list, generic array of list string. Okay, what's the problem? List string, fine. I want list of string. Can I just not have the lists of a generic thing or array of generic thing? Is it not supported in Java? Just don't know it. List, is it not supported? Okay, it should be new list of 4. Okay, and num processors. Now checked conversion, new array list of 4. Any problems? No problems till now. Any problems? Yes, it got the problem. Okay, so it's problematic. Why it's problematic? Okay, we can get rid of it. We can just use array list of string. What we can this is what we can do. Okay, lists is equal to new array list. Yeah, so this is what we can do. Okay, so we got it. We can use the array list. We have 3 sort of things. Okay, so indexers I is equal to new file indexer, and we want an array list, so array list of string. Okay, list is equal to new array list. Okay, fine. And then file indexer, we would just put the file in here. We would just put the queue, and yeah, file indexer is ready. Fine. List dot what we can say, yeah, list dot lists dot push add list. Okay, so yeah, that's it. This is it. So we want a thread thr is equal to, or maybe we can say indexer thread is equal to new thread that just takes indexers I. Okay, and this indexer thread dot start. Okay, so fine. I'm not using indexer threads array till now, but let's see if I use it or not. Okay, so we have index, we have indexer threads. Okay, now what we can do, I can just say crawler thread dot join. So when crawler thread is completed, then we would start our work. Okay, let's just catch, let's just have this try catch thing. Okay, now when this crawler thread will be completed, we will start working. Okay, when crawler thread is completed, that means all file system is covered. Okay, everything is covered. Now what we have to do? We have to actually what we have to do is yeah, I think we have to just you know just interrupt that thread. Okay, we have to just interrupt that thread. Okay, that's it. That is what we have to do. So what I'm planning to do is indexer threads I is equal to this. Okay, and indexer threads I dot start. There is no problem in there. Okay, and now what we have to do is indexer threads for thread thr in indexer, what is this, indexer threads thr dot interrupt. Okay, so thr dot interrupt. Now this is done. We interrupted all the threads, and because we know that after interruption they are just stopping. Okay, they are just stopping, so we don't need this if condition that are they interrupted or not and stuff like that, because we have implemented it, of course. Yeah, we can do it. This is unsafe. Okay, so 26 we have not used index for till now. We will use it. So what we need to do now? Okay, so we need to have we need to have the lists. Okay, because the lists would be filled by these threads. So because all these threads are now stopped, so it's safe to access all these lists. So now what we can do is we can have a file okay, buffered writer. Okay, writer is equal to new file new buffered writer, and in between it I want a new file writer. Okay, and the file writer is gonna be of type file. Okay, so it's like we want index. Okay, so that's it, and this is gonna throw an exception, of course. Okay, so we are gonna surround it with the try catch. Okay, so yes, it's surrounded with the try catch, and I just don't want this to do thing. I just hate it. Okay, so now we have the writer thread, and for okay list what is this, list of string. Okay, list in lists. Okay, so for that superior, that parent list, okay, I want all the list of strings. Okay, so oh, battery charged. Fine. Okay, so that list, okay, we are just gonna index all things. Okay, so writer dot write okay, yeah, for string str in list. Okay, writer dot write str. Okay, writer dot write a new line, and yeah, that's it. And after that I want writer dot close, because after writing all the things, writer should close, and that's it. I think what I have not used is this file indexer thing. Okay, so this thing I have not used, and that is why how it goes like is ct this. Okay, ct this, and how it looks like is now file indexer indexer is equal to new file indexer, and now it goes like indexer. So yeah, it's ready. Okay, so our main class is ready. Let's just check it out. Okay, so this is the biggest thing. Okay, so now we can just say we have the like this what I can say it I just say producer consumer thing. Okay, this producer consumer thing is now ready. Okay, so this indexer class basically just takes the file indexer and the second one, what it was called, the first one was file indexer, the second one was crawler. Okay, it just takes it. Okay, it handles the crawler. So when the crawler is done, okay, it just says indexer to stop. And because we have implemented indexer and because we have implemented it to stop, so after that it just takes list, because now it's thread safe to take the list because indexer is stop, every thread is stop, so no one would change it. Okay, and then we are done. So this is how it is it. Okay, so yeah, we are done with it. Let's just try to compile it. Okay, so yeah, indexer, Gradle. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm using Gradle for build automation. You can use Maven or anything else. Okay, but I highly recommend you using a build automation because it just makes your process smoother and faster. Okay, so I just have to write this line. You can just see, and yeah, it's done. Okay, so let's just see build libs, and we have this indexer.jar, java -jar, indexer.jar. Why not have a sudo, because like why not, or maybe okay, enter the root /home /rishabh/documents. Okay, and /home /rishabh/index. Okay, let's see how much time it takes. Okay, so oh, it's done. Okay, it's done. Now let's just go and see out if we have index ready. Vim index. Yes, I think so, it's ready. It's like 29,264 entries it has done, and I'll just full screen it so that I can just see that everything is good or not. And I feel everything is good. Okay, yes. Oh, come on, controller. Okay, so yes, we can just see everything is just working. Okay, now what is the advantage of this thing? What is the advantage? We all know the advantage. Now I have to search anything in the document. It's very easy to do. How it's easy to do? Okay, let me show you. Grep. Okay, let's say I want something with Java. Okay, and I just grep into the index, and I don't have anything in Java. Just don't have. Oh, what? Vim index. Yes, I have. Grep -i. Oh, okay. This star is not needed. This star is bad. Okay, this is not a regular expression. Oh, sorry. This is not. It's a regular expression. This is not something like that what we call it in script in the shell scripting. This is something called. I'm not remembering it. It's like something star is like anything. So this wildcard character. It's not a wildcard character, and how easy I can just search it. Okay, I want to search Java C. Yes, I just searched it. It's very easy to do. Okay, it's like a second. So that's why this file index is very important, and we always use it. Okay, so if we do find documents -name *java and stuff like that, so you can just see that it takes time. Okay, but if it's like a second. Okay, like instantly I get the result. That's why. Okay, so this is what the advantage of an indexing application, and we should always use it. I use the locate. This was just a demo purpose programming, and that's how I program in NeoVim all the time. NeoVim is just good for it. We need the project initiation, that I use project create script. This is the first thing. The second thing is NeoVim, because it makes my development process a lot faster, and I can just jump in the files and file tree, everything is just there. Okay, so it's a lot faster. I am just on the keyboard all the time. So that's it. And then the Gradle for the build automation, everything. Okay, so you don't have to worry about how to compile, you don't have to write the compile thing all the time if you just integrate it in the Vim itself. And fugitive and all those things are there. So that's it. Okay, this is how I make this project. Okay, this is how we can do multi-threading. If I just go in there, okay, if I just talk about some things, okay, so let me go to some classes like crawler.java. Okay, so what we should always take care of in the multi-threading aspect is like we should always use final, okay, as much as we can, because we know that this file instance and queue, these references are not going to change, okay, throughout the application. So why not keep it as final, because it just they are now thread safe. Okay, and if everything is final, okay, you are not publishing anything like in a bad way, then yeah, you are making a class more and more thread safe. Okay, immutable and thread safe. So because immutability gives you thread safety, that's why final is important. Okay, the same goes with our file indexer.java. I have kept many things as much as I can. Okay, and oh, one more thing, I just don't want these things now. Okay, I just don't want it. Oh, boolean running private. Okay, so I just don't want the those functions now, because without those functions even I can do. Let's just check our indexer.java. Oh, not that, indexer.java. Yeah, and there's no problem in there, and that's it. Okay, so this is what it is. Hope you learned something, hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, hope it was even informative on how to do multi-threaded programming, and this is using the low level APIs that Java provide. In the next video I'm gonna do the same, but using the the higher level APIs like futures and all those things. Okay, but we should always take care of this blocking queue, because blocking queue is what we want if there's something in producer consumer pattern. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. See you guys next.